Okay, this is why Katniss is President Snow, part 2. Why, when Snow saw Katniss, he was not thinking about Lucy Gray. He was thinking about, you're just like me when I was your age. You gotta look at the similarities, okay? So I'm rereading, full disclosure, I'm rereading the 3 books of the original trilogy right now. And there's so many things that I forgot about Katniss' character that was changed for the movies that a lot of people miss. And you go back to like the first pages of the Hunger Games. The things that Katniss was saying in her head, in her personal narration, like, let's talk about Buttercup. Her first thought was, let's drown this cat. Like, and I'm not saying, none of this is a criticism. Some people hear this and they think, no, you can't say she's like Snow, you're saying she's a bad guy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that they both started in a similar place and they had similar personality attributes, but they obviously ended up on opposite sides of this thing, ended up very differently. Katniss went the correct way, Snow went the wrong way. But it adds, the parallels in the narrative is so strong when you see what happened here, because Katniss could have easily become Snow if her circumstances were different. And it goes beyond just, well, she had been born in the capital. Because what makes Katniss and Snow very interesting, that core thing is they're survivors. And as a result, they look at things as utility, okay? They don't look through the lens of love. Because, and this is a whole other video, the thing that's the core attribute of both of those characters is they don't understand love and they don't know how to love. And I know that sounds crazy, especially about Katniss, but it changes for Katniss over time. But when it starts, that's how it is. So she sees a dying cat, or a cat that's starving, whatever. Prim's like, let's save it. She's like, we need to drown this thing because it has no value, okay? Katniss said out her own mouth that, or in her head, that the only person she was sure that she loved in those first pages of Hunger Games was Prim. So she has her mom, you know, she got issues with her mom. She's got Gale, but she does not believe that she loves them. She knows for a fact she loves Prim, and that's it, okay? So let's look at Snow when he started out. We know for a fact that Snow doesn't grasp love and maybe never loved anybody, and that's up for debate. Now, he had affection for Tigris, and he had responsibility for her and for the grandmother, right? But that's different. Affection is different from love, and responsibility is definitely different from love, okay? So we know that he has some responsibility because even when he became a peacekeeper, he's still sending money back to them. But that's not necessarily love. That's responsibility. And him and Katniss have a strong sense of responsibility, okay? So Katniss took responsibility for her family, even though she doesn't like her mom. She took responsibility for her family and took that on. She took responsibility for Gale and his family. And Snow took responsibility for Tigris and Grandmam, right? Okay, now, they're both survivalists. They know how to survive, all right? So they're also very fatalist, though, when they feel like all the things add up and there's no way I can get out of this, all right? So when the Hunger Games, when he becomes a mentor and he sees Lucy Gray, he thinks, I'm going to lose. I got someone from District 12, right? But then she sings, and then he's like, wait a minute, I have a chance. Not a chance of winning the games and Lucy living, but a